Hello Virgo, welcome back to my channel if you're a returning subscriber. If you're new, welcome. I hope you enjoy the reading. This is a general life reading. Please don't forget to like and share or like and subscribe. Okay, so let's have a look. Right, we seem to have, I'm going to start with the 10th house here. The 10th house is to do with your career aspirations, but it can also be to do with your reputation, your fame, if that is something that you are involved in, but it's your profile, how others see you. It can also be about authority figures and dealing with those, either working under them or governmental situations. It can also be to do with an authority figure in your actual environment. Now, this can be like a father figure or a somebody else that you kind of look up to. It can be masculine or feminine, but quite often it's associated with an authority figure, somebody who has some power and authority in your life. Now, it can also be to do with what you are moving towards from a career perspective. So this can be like your purpose or your, what you're building up, what you're trying to build up at this time. So now, we have underneath, we've got the Grand Cross Provoker, and then at the top, we've got Damara Guiding Children. So, this can be read in a number of ways. The Grand Cross is saying that there's quite a bit of energy on you at the moment. Now, this is normally from different angles, 4 different angles coming down on you. So it can feel like pressure, a lot of pressure, and it's coming from all different areas, all different ways, all different directions. And it's almost like the energies are competing with each other. It's got that very strong energy. It can be a very frustrating energy. It can be very like pressurized, It can make it, diamonds are created with this kind of pressure. So it's kind of digging deep to find out where you need to go and what you need to do. But it can also be about juggling or multitasking with all your skills, all your abilities, and trying to, using all of that to move yourself forward. You could have a lot of opportunities coming at you all at once, or it could be to do with something that you're trying to do, and you've got literally one hurdle after another coming like that, just coming at, flowing at you from all different angles. So it's very much about inner strength, learning how to use your inner strength. It's about building up stamina, fortitude, determination. There is success on the other side of this, and you will learn a lot during this process. It's a very steep learning curve, this. But it can feel a bit frustrating at times because you just seem to sort one thing out and then something else comes up. So it's a bit like putting out fires, or you are using all your, everything that you've got to work your way through multiple directions and multiple things happening. So that all comes in with the Grand Cross. Now, we have got at the top Damara Guiding Children. So this may be, you may be involved with children or children's activities. There could be from a career perspective, or it could be something that you're involved in where you've got a higher profile to do with children. It can also be involved with children's things, things to do with children. So it says here, you are good at helping, counseling and healing children. Use your skills to help children now. So as I said, it could be a profession thing, or it could be a legacy that you're building up for your own children, if that is something that you're working on. But it's like a goal. It's an ambition that you have, So it could also be saying that aspects or things associated with children may be coming into your 10th house in some form. Now, it could also be that counseling may be coming in as well, because counseling is coming in on the 7th house here. So it could be to do with that. But it can also be to do with your inner child. If none of those other things are resonating for you, then it could be to do with your inner child, which is, it may be something in your 10th house, which is kind of, the Grand Cross is a catalyst for movement and also for change. All right. So it seems that something needs to be addressed here, or something needs to be heard. And it could very well be your own inner child is trying to tell you something, or you have suppressed some aspect of your inner child's voice, or something that you longed or wanted to do when you were a child. And it's got to do with what you want to do in your life, you know. So it could be to do with that, but inner child comes in very strongly with tomorrow, or anything to do with children whatsoever. So it's quite often to do with something that has been ignored or put aside, or it hasn't been acknowledged in some form. It could have been silenced through parental things or through schooling even, you know. Some aspect may have just been suppressed, and it's time to let that out now. Listen and go with what you feel, and listen to, you know, go back to your earlier days and see what it is that perhaps has been pushed aside or needs to come out now at this time. Now, we have also got Sikh coming in here, quiet time. So take some quiet time alone to rest, meditate, and contemplate. All right. So somewhere in all of your goings on here, there's a lot of transformation occurring. You're going to need to do this on a regular basis. And I say that because Grand Cross can put you under a lot of pressure with regards to time or the timing of things. So prioritizing things, having times in the day when you do certain things, or planning times in to do with your children, or these children's aspects, or things to do with children, or whatever they may be. It can also be listening, as I said, to your inner child. So you may need to plan this in, especially if you've got a lot going on. Prioritization, time management, and stamina, you know, actually working through things. It can also be consolidation of things, can come in with Grand Cross. It can also be about communication with others. So this may be to do with your own children or to do with your own inner child, as I said. And this may require going inward. Quiet time is always about spending time. So it says here, take some quiet time alone to rest, meditate, and contemplate. There's something to do with that which is going to help you. It's going to give you guidance with everything that is occurring at this time, but you need to listen. Meditation is about listening, all right? Listening to yourself and listening to God, you know, whatever spirit guidance that you get. It could even just be impressions, or it could also be songs, lyrics, you know. Information can come to you from many different sources, but you need to be in that contemplative present frame of mind. And that will help you to open the gates to allow that information, and also to allow information to bubble up, or guidance to bubble up. And I feel that may be to do with the inner child situation. But see, quiet time is going to be required on and off here through a number of situations, and that's going to help you navigate, especially through this Grand Cross situation. Now we have got the seventh house. Seventh house is to do with relationships. Now this is normally close, personal, one-on-one relationships. Now this can be a committed partnership. Now that can be, sorry about the dogs barking. That can be to do with a love relationship, but it can also be to do with a partnership, like a business partnership. So any close, personal, one-on-one partnership, but it can also be somebody that you're very close to, like a really, really close friend. It can also be other people that you may be very closely associated with. It could even be this authority figure. So it's about that. Can also be about marriage. It's normally a committed or engagement or marriage, something like that. It's normally a committed relationship that comes in, a love relationship that comes into the seventh house. It can also cover the lower courts. So this may be to do with legal matters. You've got the ninth house here, so that could also be coming in. It could also be to do with, balancing things between you and another, or between you and others that you are close to at this time, because seventh house is the Libra house. So that's about balance. So coming to balance in things. It can also be your social intelligence, awareness and interacting with others on a close personal basis. Now, at the bottom, we've got Mars coming in, and then at the top, we've got Dana High Priestess. So the Dana High Priestess is always about imparting knowledge of some kind in some way. Now, this could be, as I said, to a business partner, or it could be to a friendship, or it could be to your marriage partner or your relationship partner. It could also come in through the social awareness, interacting with others on a personal kind of a basis. It could be coming in from that. If you are a legal person, it could be related to that, the lower courts. Now, the Mars is always about taking action in some way. Now, it's got force there. So the Mars energy is very powerful. This can be extremely powerful. So it depends on your Mars and how you are built and how you utilize Mars in your chart. But it's basically about action, your will. It's the god of war. It can also be about how you get things done. Venus is always about what you like or what you want, and Mars is how you get it. It's that going after, that hunting energy. But it can also be about defending yourself, or facing a challenge, or putting your cards on the table and being very clear about a direction that you want to go in. Now, with this energy, it can also bring in impatience or quick temper. There could also be egos around, people's egos. As I said, in the 7th house, that's entirely possible. That could be an issue that needs to be dealt with. But I feel this is mostly to do with starting something or pushing forward on something. But it can also be, obviously, in a relationship. It can be to sexuality. It can be to passion. It could also be something that is going to motivate this relationship to move forward in some way. With the Mars energy is that initiation. It might be a really great idea, or it could be an action that needs to be taken in some form here. But it's initiating something and moving forward. In some ways, it can be bulldozing. So just be careful with that. As I said, the ego things do come in sometimes. But certainly, I feel it's about taking action, moving forward on something that needs to occur here. Now, with the Dana High Priestess, as I said, this is about receiving intuition and guidance, which we already talked about with Sich. Getting information. There is communication here. And she's got a lot of blue, but it's also about your will, which is your solar plexus, your confidence, your solar plexus chakra, but also your throat chakra, which is your will and your voicing things. So things need to be said here, but it's following guidance. It says you have divine knowledge that can help others through your spiritual teaching. So this may be giving guidance to your person or to another. Or through a justice situation, legal situation, or it could be through interacting with others where you impart knowledge. Now, normally Dana is to do with coursework, seminars, workshops, things like that, imparting knowledge or putting it down into publishing, something like that. Now, this could be that even that you and your person may need to go into some sort of counseling situation. That can also happen. But it's to do with communication, and there is confidence involved here and moving forward, but also learning and downloading information and imparting it to others. But these are people that are in your immediate environment, or those that you are specifically working with at this time. Now, we have also got the 9th house coming in. But before I go on with that, I just want to mention that Mars, this Mars energy is going to be important, I feel, in this month for a number of reasons. But because you've got the Sagittarius energy, you've also got Scorpio and, as I said, the Mars and the 9th house. The 4th of December is a solar eclipse, and that will be in Sagittarius. All right. And that's on the 4th of December. It's conjunct Mercury. And then you've got Chiron sitting in Aries, which is retrograde. Chiron is always about the past, wounds, emotional wounding and healing of all kinds, whether it's a physical healing or an emotional healing. And Mercury is always about expression, communication, of all kinds. So I feel something will be said or communicated, or you will receive information, and it's going to bring up something from the past, or an older wounding, or it's to do with putting that to bed, airing something to do with that and actually dealing with it. So 4th of December. Then the other aspect coming in is 8th of December. Mars will be in Scorpio. We've got Scorpio here. Mars will be in Scorpio, and it's going to be squaring Jupiter, which is the ruler of Sagittarius. So I feel that, again, that date, Scorpio is always about things coming up from underneath. It's to do with sexual matters. It's also to do with the death of things, and this can be physical deaths, but it's normally to do with ego deaths. And I did mention ego here. It could also be to do with birthing or rebirthing, regeneration, and so on. And it's squaring Jupiter, and Jupiter wants to free things. Jupiter wants to be expansive. Jupiter wants to bring adventure and exploration into anything. It wants to expand your knowledge, expand what you're doing, and give you opportunities and luck. So I feel that there's going to be a little bit of a square is going to highlight some sort of weakness or some sort of area that needs to be worked on. So that is the 8th of December. Then on the 14th of December, Mars will then move into Sagittarius. And again, the Sagittarius energy is Jupiter rules Sagittarius. So Sagittarius is very expansive, but it's also about seeing the big picture in some way. You could have luck. You could have opportunity. You could also have heightened intuition at that time, which is what we said with the Sikh quiet time. You need to access that, especially with the 9th house. Sagittarius, 9th house is Sagittarius house. So it could also be expansion of some kind, whether it's a physical expansion through travel, or it could be through learning institutions and so on. So there's something coming in again, 14th of December. And then Jupiter, which is the ruler of Pisces, is the ruler of Sagittarius, moves into Pisces on the 30th of December. And I feel that's going to bring it's going to bring an opportunity, or it's going to cool things down, or it's going to create expansion in that area. And Pisces is always about dreams and about emotional things. It's also about connecting to your spiritual self or the universe. It can also be about overcoming things, moving past things as well. So all of these aspects coming in. Now, 9th house, as I said, to do with higher education. So this is universities, adult education. It can also be to do with learning about aspects to do with philosophy, religion, or belief systems. Belief systems in the world are undergoing a massive transformation now. You have got the transformation card. It's also to do with the intuition and intuitive processes. So that could be very strong right now. You've got sensitivity at the top there and Sagittarius at the bottom. So intuition is going to be peaked during this period. So use your intuition to guide you, as I said. It can also be about, it could be foreign travel or long distance travel. That may come in for some of you, but it can also be internal travel, as in exploring your mind or philosophy, religion, and belief systems. So it's like opening your mind to certain things. It can also be learning from an educational point of view, but it could also be to do with the law, or legal matters may be featuring. All of these things come in with the 9th house. It could also be around publishing. Something may be coming in to be published or expressed in some way. And teaching also comes in. And I said there was children coming in here, and you've also got High Priestess, which is to do with that. Okay. Expression of knowledge in a format, or taking knowledge in which you're going to pass on to others. So, the 9th house can be all of those things, very expansive house. Journalism may even be coming up in that. But it's also to do with going on a sort of a sacred quest or a journey of some sort, whether it's internal or external, seeking the truth in some way. Now, with the Sagittarius energy, as I said, very expansive. This is a luck or a breakthrough possibly coming in. It could also be to do with getting your knowledge or your wisdom or your whatever it is that you want to spread it out into the world. And it could be via foreign channels or people that are from other countries. It can also be people that are, you could be connecting with them online. It could also be to do with a business which has got foreign concepts attached, like import and export, customs, things like that. Maybe that's coming in. Very expansive house. It's also about expression and opinions. It may be that with the sensitivity house, you could have a few people around you who are very opinionated at the moment. Sagittarian people can be like that. Sometimes they go over the top with what they need to say. They can sometimes be very blunt, So be careful what you're expressing at that time. It could be somebody else around you, but it could also be what you are saying right now. So this is about being expansive and motivating and inspiring, but just that be careful that you don't go overboard. It could be over too much of something, going over the top in some way, shape or form here, because you have got white Taurus sensitivity. So you are becoming increasingly sensitive. Avoid harsh relationships, environments, situations, and chemicals. It could also be to do with taking something into your body which is not good for you. Now, this could be a chemical substance. It could be anything that you're taking into your body. It could also be via media. You could be exposing yourself to too much negative media or negative opinions of others. Or it could be aspects that you're just not, that are just not going to work for you in this house. It could be travel related, you know. So be careful what you take into your body. Be careful what you allow in. Go through your home, remove toxic things, and also this could be toxic ideas in the 9th house. It could also be environmental, as in, you know, going somewhere or journeying to somewhere which is actually not suitable for you. You may have to filter out the noise or aspects that you're taking into the body which are not working for you because you're increasingly sensitive. So this is a good time to go into the intuitive process. As I said, the quiet time, listen to your intuition, let that guide you, and learn and understand and explore things, but just be discerning about what you are doing, okay? And this could, you know, as I said, it could even be, some of you may be traveling to go and visit certain people at this time of the year. End of the year does happen for Christmas or New Year or whatever the situation will be, but be careful with that, and limit exposure to those who are going to trigger you, or to situations or environments that are going to trigger you, okay? Be careful with that, especially this time of the year. We have also got, as I said, Scorpio transform. So somewhere in amongst here, it could have been to do with the Mars energy, which is in Scorpio until the 14th of December. It's saying that some things may come up now with the Scorpio energy. Things rise up from underneath, but it can also be to do with sexuality, which may come into the 7th house. It could also be to do with, as I said, you know, the death of something or the falling away of something. So this is normally a death associated with a transition from you know, within you, and this is normally to do with an ego death. It can in some cases be a physical death, but it's usually to do with other aspects of your life which are falling away or transforming in some way, shape or form. It can also be a rebirth or a regeneration, like the phoenix rising from the ashes. So all of those issues come in. It can also be airing things rising up which need to be said or expressed, and this can be in the form of fears or anger, even manipulation, which comes from a fear, actually could be rising up. All of these things, as I said, there may be some ego issues coming in, whether it's yours or somebody else's. It can also be somebody engineering things, you know, that could also be coming in with Scorpio. Control, manipulation does come in with the Scorpio energy as well. So what you want to do is tap into the psychic side of Scorpio. As I said, with your Sikh quiet time and your 9th house, you want to go that route rather, and listen to what is being said and what is coming into your awareness, and dealing with things that come up in a balanced and a communicative way, you know. So all of that, but transformation, something is transforming within your environment here. With it could even be career related. Something could be coming up to do with that. Something is being transformed. It could even be an old attitude or a belief or something which has been sitting in underneath. And this is where the guiding children, as I said, with the self, listening to your inner child. It could be something from your inner child or your early childhood, which may be rising up now, and it needs to come out. Something needs to be expressed, or you need to listen, you know, something to do with that.